The Sweet Serenade. Welcome to the consciousness of the way. My divine, delectable co-host, Jade. Howdy doody.
I was going to say, I think that's the first part of quiet I've had all day today.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And I'm your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master Sun Quinn. What an incredible day. Howdy doody. What is that? That's Woody from Toy Story? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a howdy doody day.
Howdy partner.
Howdy partner. What a incredibly infectious serenade. That sound. I'm just in love with the shakuhachi. The Chinese origin-based shakuhachi. Always representing my roots. Another incredible day. Opening up to higher levels of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Expanding our understanding of the synergy of the spirit, body, the energy body, and the physical body.
All so important.
Yeah, very important, and understanding how they all play their own part in your journey and your journey of awareness consciousness. What you need to do to acquire that high level to affect change in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So today is a fantastic day to sort of get in the weeds or the baseline,
Mm-hmm.
understanding being a Taoist master is very important for me to be able to integrate, as Jade is a high priestess. We need to understand the integration of body, mind, and spirit as a whole. You know, it's kind of like understanding the merging of all these energies. There's so many things that are reflectant of the trio in every sense of the word. And so the spirit, the consciousness that we speak of, that we are always in pursuit of higher levels of that. And as it transcends into this three-dimensional reality, it's sort of like that aha moment that Steve Jobs had. What an interesting character Steve Jobs was. Yeah. Met him a few times through some clients that I worked with in Silicon Valley. They were very good friends with him. Probably half a dozen times. Extremely disconnected from his reality. And that kind of like becomes reflectant on his mental emotional state, and ultimately you sort of correlate the organs and understanding his weakest link. And this is sort of like very important that people understand this, is you take your emotions and you basically place them in parts of your physical body. And this is a Taoist model. In 30 years, I've seen enough evidence that will validate how powerful that model is from the mental emotional state. So you you form a thought, emotion, and a feeling, and then it's encapsulated and infused into your physical body. And sort of the journey for some people would call ascension, enlightenment, consciousness, is to keep the flow. We talk about the understanding of that, creating coherence, creating that synergy between the brain, heart, and the gut, which is collectively connecting the earth, yourself, and the universe. And from a Taoist perspective, it's the connection, the Shazam moment that you have when you're in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will call it the field. We call it the Tao. That's instant access to effect a change in this three-dimensional reality. And that can come in the form of a physical healing, a mental emotional healing, a manifestation. Whatever your imagination can create, it can translate into your reality. And it's that sweet spot of getting to highest level of consciousness that you're able to be dissolved of your identity and translate that into this transformation of, wave into matter, real time, before your very eyes. And it's a sweet spot. It's an understanding of your frequency that you create within your brain. And they've correlated it. We've measured it many times with people's experiences within the Way 126-hour app, and how the visual audible experience that we've created in a digital format evokes, with the culmination of Nigong and Qigong, using the quantum and epigenetics understanding, this experience, and it's translated into basically elevating yourself from the third to fourth dimension and getting an understanding of that. Like, I can't reiterate enough how important it is to experience it for yourself. And that's why we always talk about the truth is only what you believe. Your truth is the only truth that you need to be concerned with. It doesn't end.
No. Maybe we should get into a little more of like the basics of like, what gets stored when we do aura readings and stuff, like what emotions get stored in the different organs, and helping people realize that it's like, what goes in must come out, kind of idea.
Yeah. I mean, look, the fundamentals are really clear. I mean, we're talking about the synergy of the spirit, the spirit body, the energy body, the physical body. Everything is energy, frequency, vibration. Mm-hmm. That is clear. That is evident. We reiterate it. We transform it. We translate it into something that is digestible for anybody to gravitate to associate to imagine and create in their own reality. And we just give you the tools. And so don't be misled with this. And this is just from my personal experience in doing this for so many decades. When someone tells you and that it's unobtainable, you need to realize that it's a learnt skill. We all have the same neurology. We all have the same fundamental mechanics. And so as long as you have the neurology of a human being, as long as you have the five senses of a human being, you can jump off into any reality that you want. Mm-hmm. It's just how you're able to perceive it. Because, I mean, let's talk about that. It's perception. And people say we're really viewing only 1% of our reality. Okay, big brain on Brad. because the more and more you go deeper into it, the more and more introspective and analytical you become as a human being, as your natural instinct of survival. We water it down only because the fundamental signal that is necessary for you to allocate and recognize that you are in the field, that it is happening, is the kinesthetic response. So this, don't get twisted. This physical body is your tuning fork to your access to the universe. And most people, and I've been watching this lately, oh, I channel this and I channel that, and oh my goodness, and a demon's supposed to feel this way and an energy's supposed to feel this way, blah, blah, blah. Again, guys, this is a perception of reality. This is a perception of their experience. We give you the fundamentals that will give you a magnifying glass to refine your experience, your communication, your finer details of the infrastructure of the creativity of your reality. That is what we're doing. Yes, everything is energy, frequency, vibration. Yes, there are an infinite amount of spirits and entities and energies, and we can go on and on and on. I'm prolific in the category of channeling. That's my bag, baby. And guess what? It's yours too.
Right. And we're not, I mean, I think a lot of people enjoy telling the stories of like, I channeled this person, I went to this ancient land, I've done this, and it's incredible. It's such an amazing skill when you have it. Sharing it is great. Teaching other people how to do it themselves is what we want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we could share story times all day long for hours and hours. Probably couldn't even remember all of them, to be honest. But empowering the audience to know that they can do it and creating a system of tools, making it accessible, that's where we want to transfer that message.
And that's the direct source. That's right, Jay. That's the direct source that's necessary. You will not be a finely tuned tool in your toolbox until you really refine your access to information, because that's the epicenter of your journey. We want to give you the tools, and you go off and find that 88 miles per hour center point back to the future, back to the past, back to wherever it is that you want to create and transform and go to. Because once you collapse that fourth dimension, once you go fourth, fifth, and up, your perception of your reality is molded and shaped, and you will know and feel your brain waves oscillating and vibrating at a frequency where you can shift matter, particle, in front of your very eyes with your attention and thoughts alone. Your imagination is like a supercharge, a super blaster to the transformation of that matter. And so, oh my goodness, I've got to be nobody, somebody, anybody, maybe one. Who? Santa Claus, Jesus, an enlightened being, the sun, universe. Right. And so understanding that these are all perceptions, what's most important is you get the fundamental skills, the mastery, being the master keeper creator of your reality. And you do that when you're given the tools. And so we want you to be the most active tuning fork of your reality. And so that tuning fork comes from an awareness of consciousness, and jumping from the third to fourth dimension is really not that hard. We always refer to, you must be like a child, take things at face value. We are simplifying these things, guys. We want it to be simple. We want it to be as simple as possible. So the kinesthetic response is the register that tells you, that lets you know you're in the right brainwave, you're in the right frequency, you're in the field, you're ready to affect change. And this is something that is coming up that we're going to refine. I want to a shout out to all the incredible manifestors that are using the Way 126 and getting incredible results. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters and brothers. Hallelujah. Because you are carving out your reality the way you want. All we do is give you these ancient tools in a digital format that evokes the kinesthetic response. This is the tuning fork, guys. Your body is the tuning fork. Your neurology is the tuning fork. Mm-hmm. This is when you affect change, because being first person, third person, no person is conceptual, but it's a grade of gear change that's necessary for you to encompass it, to shift into your level of consciousness. The register, the spark, the firecracker, the ignition, the cognition, the ignition is the kinesthetic response.
Yeah, it's like I was, my son was sharing a YouTube video with me about learning how to do a backflip. Mm-hmm. And there was like 7 different steps. And so they would teach him, okay, you tumble. Or if you watch people do gymnastics, like you tumble, then you like put your arms back a little more. Then you do, the next step and the next step. And he was watching, and it was like you would watch the kid try to do it, and he'd almost hit the backflip, and then he'd fall. Or he'd hit the backflip and go too hard. Mm-hmm. Or he'd hit the backflip, and it would push him to the side. Mm-hmm. But the second he landed it, that's where it hit. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, if I put A, B, C, D, E, and F together all at the right speed, mm-hmm. I'm going to hit it every time. And I know what it feels like. Because I did a little too much here, I missed mm-hmm. it. I did it a little not enough, mm-hmm. I missed it. But when you hit that sweet spot, like you're talking about, that kinesthetic response, and you land it, you go, oh, I got it.
Right.
I know it. And now I just keep replicating and expanding.
Well, that again is, the old expression, learn from experience, is to a degree an understanding. You need to understand, it's like we talk about spirit projection within Taoism. Shen, realizing that. Jade is talking about the culmination of that aha moment mm-hmm. that takes place when you get it, and the watered down Death Star moment to realize when it happens. Like, so how she's explaining it is to go, hey guys, when you hit it, you feel it. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And I mean, we reiterate it. We want you to know this. When you're doing the Way 126, the first side effect is it makes you feel relaxed, sedated, like you're in the Bahamas for 5 days, drinking pina coladas, getting a full body massage. You're there. Excuse me? What? Sifu, you said what now? You are there. I want you to know right now, with your eyes open, without crafting some Hollywood sort of romantic visualization of your Harry Potter moment, where you need to be in a certain place riding a broomstick with the Harry Potter wand and the cape on, and the moonlight shining down upon your face as you're flying through the sky with seagulls and witches. And listen, I love my imagination. I'm in love with my imagination. It is critical to creating. We reference visualizers. We reference when Jade is talking about this, it's like visualization, key, top level sensory perception. We reiterate that you have to visualize That's the top 1% of the top 1% as to how you create your reality. That's why they're so successful. Pick anybody you know that is successful at what they do. They are a visualizer.
Mm-hmm.
And so this kinesthetic charge, the power that you get from that, Jade is letting everyone know, hello, you're there. That's it. And so, well, what do you mean? Where's the angels coming out of the sky? Where's the unique sound of God's voice echoing in my ears? Where's the smoke and the wizardry and the LED lights and all this magical stuff that I see in Hollywood movies? That can be there also. But let's how do we say? Let's crawl before we walk, before we run.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what does that mean? That just means that we're taking all the guessing work out of, hopefully, if I replicate 1,000 meditations that are supposed to do this, this, and this, I'm going to get to a place where I'm relaxed and sedated enough that I believe that I'm all as one, one is all, blah, blah, blah. Well, because the truth is, this stuff is steeped in thousands of years of practice, cultivation, ritual, and we are just encapsulating it in an experience using Nigong and Qigong as the principles, 11 herbs and spices that are proprietary, that are ancient Taoist tools that use your visual and audible experience to create a kinesthetic response. That kinesthetic response is the validator that you are on target, you are on point. So you are in the field. Let's not get twisted right now. Right now, a minus emotional content, you're in the field. That means that you are present right now. You're listening to us. We're listening to us talk. Everything is going on. You are in the field. People talk about the simulation. You are present right now. Your eyes and intention, wherever you move, is forming matter, taking wave and turning it into particle. That's from here. As you move here, it changes. As you move here, it changes. Everything is wave. Now, the mastery is bye-bye self and just do it. And I will tell you this because I've done it 1,000 times. I don't know, 1,000, a million. Million might be a stretch, but thousands of times. When you hit it, when you're in that space, regardless of whether you can see angels, hear angels, magical lights, anything else, you keep your eyes open because the way 126 trains you, the visual and audible, to keep your eyes open. And as you continually progress, you master this. But let me say this, you base it straight away. The first time you hit play, you're in the field. You're there. What, Sifu? What? You and Jade are saying you're there? Jade said that all it takes is 1 or 2 times and bang, you hit the nail on the head. You feel it. You know it. Yeah. Now, people are not going to like that answer. But you have to understand that you are operating from a place of programming. You are here in front of us because there are no coincidences. Anyone who's listening to this right now believes in that to the core of themselves. That's why they're listening to Jade and I right now. And so that fundamental understanding, the simplicity, what? I'm just here? What? That's ridiculous. That's too easy. That's the perplexing part as to why you are here and why you are listening to Jade and I today, because you have made it complex due to the filters that have been generated as you have raised your own awareness within your own general journey of your experience in this natural born life as a eternal immortal having a human being experience right here, right now. Oh. Now, Jade and I have been doing this for a long time, so mastering the state to affect change, operating, hovering in that fourth dimension, 4th, 5th, and up, is consciousness. And when you're there, you know it. Things transform and transmute in front of your very eyes. Anything. I've seen it. Let me tell you, I've seen a lot. Whether it's or physical flesh, I've seen it transform before my very eyes. And to be in that high gamma state, brainwave, people are registering 100 to 200. I would say collectively, I've measured over 100, but when I've seen some things that are just absolutely off the chart, Harry Potter craziness, I would have to say if I was measuring it, it would be in the 2 to 3 to 400. And is it unbelievable? Absolutely not. It's only just validated now because the science says, thank you, big brain on Brad. We've been doing this a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that they used as guinea pigs, excuse me, just so you know, this is my personality. And being able to separate the two is critical to how powerful that you can be as an individual, as a collective in this three-dimensional reality when you can switch it on and off. And that's part of what the 126 does. Mm-hmm. It teaches you that. Right? So when you can switch it on and off, you can step in straight away. It's like we've all had those aha moments. We've all had those moments, just like Jade is talking about. Once time, two times, three times a charm. And you nail it. It's that simple.
And then you hold on to it.
Well, yeah, you solidify it, right? It's like when you're a kid, how many times did you get excited when you completed some type of feat that you thought was unimaginable, right? Whether it's doing this, or this, or, my kids get all excited just by being able to do this. Like, look, Dad, look at this. This is crazy, man. And I'm like, damn straight it is. Mm-hmm. Because you're becoming aware of this instrument, this physical body, and it excites you. You need to be excited. You need to be in tune with the frequencies that are in, around, and through you and from you, and that level of excitement raises your consciousness.
And that consciousness raises your consciousness.
Booyah. Level up. Level up. Yeah, so understanding this, if you're doing the Way 126, this is all for the Way 126 OGs out there. You are already there. When you hit play, you're there. That kinesthetic charge is a validator, is a solidifier to your consciousness. You are there. Now, you train yourself, and at the end of that, you have a 126 chamber and a manifestation, a 126 manifestation chamber. Now, these two chambers are spaces where you go in and you practice your craft. You refine it. That's what it's about. So, you can literally put your intention to the idea you're going to do it, and you're there. What does that mean? You can switch on and off your conscious state at will, and that also in turn means being able to dip into the fourth dimension, dip into a level of consciousness where you're able to shift and change particle matter from wave to particle matter real time, from matter to particle to wave. That's all it means. And you will know. You will sweat like a... Because that high frequency, that hertz level with the gamma, you're sweating like a bee.
And I think people need to realize too that like unconsciously they're already doing this all day long. Mm-hmm. It's 10 o'clock at night. I got the kids to bed. just going to stare at my phone for a minute and then I'm going to go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. I've been on my phone. Where did the last 4 hours go? I don't even know what I was looking at. And somehow I lost 4 hours of my life.
Yeah.
Or I'm driving down the highway and I don't even know how I got to my destination.
Yeah.
I know I was driving, but
Yeah.
what happened? I don't remember. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're dipping in and out of this unconsciously all day long. Now you have the tools to do it when you want to on command.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the mastery of baseline entry point to your consciousness using meditation. That's the mastery. That's why we call it a Taoist meditation mastery. I mean, meditation is just a gateway. It's in definition being awareness, consciousness, guys. That's it. But Jade is 1000% right. You're in and out of the field all day long. If you just accept that you're in the field, you're there. And it's just like, excuse me? What did you just say? Did you just say that? I said, yeah. Mic drop. That's that simple. The simplicity of it makes it complex because everyone cannot, their mind just, it becomes incoherent and separates into 4 pieces and then explodes. Internal combustion when you drop a mic like that because it's so simple. And so, when you are in the field, you're in a place of manifestation, you're in a place of healing, a place of magic. That's instant. And because if you do not think about it, being selfless and operate that way without the idea that you are looking for something to be reflected as value to you, which is the biggest issue that people have, and that's why when we go past the idea of this, there were so many failures in a lot of manifestation rollouts and how people are teaching it, is that the ability to be absent of your identity is the key. But if you ask someone what their values are, how can they be absent of their identity? Excuse me. Hello? You're literally training someone to identify with their own values. When you know, right, you're going to find out. You come with us, you roll with us, you run with us. We're going to give you that moment of clarity. We're going to give you the tools to be the master, keeper, creator of your reality. This comes with, there is no, I had this moment, it was so enlightening, it was just once and I haven't been able to replicate. You'll replicate it over and over and over and over and over again because Jade and I, we're people of action.
Yeah.
You got to show us, man. I'll show you. You want to roll up? You want channeling 101, head spin? I'll link you guys up in a channeling experience that will blow your mind. And we can all do it. You want to see instant change and healing? I'll show you. Oh, we'll move around and move. No. Come one, come all. Let's do this. And you do it in a group environment. Oh, kaboom. What a crazy experience that is. You connect everyone collectively, whether they're on the internet in front of you. The amplitude of energy is absolutely electrifying. It rocks your freaking, excuse me. It makes you feel one with everything. That convergence and coherence that is created is unbelievable.
It's electric.
Yeah, it is electric. It's electric in nature. So, we talk about the spirit. We're all about the spirit. The spirit is the key. This is the vehicle. We talk about the physical body, the energetic body, the spirit body. So let's talk about that. You got to get that coherence. You got to get that alignment. You got to get that synchronicity. that kinesthetic response is the answer to everything. If you're doing the way 126 OGs or the way 126, you turn it on and you feel that experience. You're there. Get your list out, because you're going to turn into one badass manifesting mofo. That's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to turn into one badass healing mofo. And what happens is you're going to turn into one badass magic mofo. I always put that as a category, because that's an infrastructure and architecture that we apply within Taoism, because whenever you want to craft your reality, you must be specific in detail. You don't go to a restaurant and order a hamburger and fries and they come out with a bowl of edamame and some ketchup and some mayonnaise and go, here you go.
It's ketchup with edamame.
Exactly. Exactly. You wanted fries and a burger. You have to be detailed, but then you have to have that little skill set. And that's why we take the hard work out of it. Enough of the regression, enough of looking at when the pain is, where, and how. It's on a timeline. This is something I've looked at for 30 years. It will put you into a state of victimhood. Oh, oops. Sorry, guys. Guess what? Remember, we reiterate, everything in the mind is still registered within the brain as real, whether you feel it or you actually experience it. It is the same in the mind. That means that let's cut through the BS and let's get down to the brass tacks and have you transform and create the reality that you want, instead of repeating the same old, which is, I'm a victim of my circumstance, all the pain and suffering from my emotions, and I've constructed my reality because I'm a magnet. I'm drawing all that information in, and guess what? I'm a victim. Shake my hand. And you know what? Those emotions will sink you like the Titanic if you don't get a realization that if it's all coming from your mind, that emotional charge is only there if you give it life. If you give it life, it will continue to grow like a weed, grow like an abscess, grow like
Hole.
An
endless black hole.
And you know, if it's used correctly, endless black holes are infinite, abundant, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite in their nature, and they're just keep on giving. If you use it as a duality perspective with your personality, using the sum of your life experiences, and you believe you're attached to your emotions, when we always remind you your emotions don't control you, you control your emotions, booyah, be clear. Victimhood, null and void. We have principles and understanding how to do spirit projection, and they were mostly fundamentally used when it comes to martial form. I teach it within Bagua, Tai Chi, Qigong. You don't even need to use it for that per se. We use it for astral plane traveling, which is spirit projection, i.e. Remote viewing, i.e. understanding that once you project your spirit, you are already moving and void of time and space, creating your reality. Now, the biggest hurdle, the biggest contending issue is Sifu, Jade, this is the same old, same old. You say no identity, but you're saying project your spirit. Very good point, big brain on Brad. And this is the part that gets people all twisted. This is the part where you identify, give me your highest value. If I give you my highest value, I'm staying within my identity, which is reflectant of who I am, which makes it kind of impossible to do the magic secret sauce in that fourth dimension that we talk about and affect time and change and collapse time and space and change wave to particle to matter to matter to particle to wave. This is a consciousness, guys. That's what the dimensions are about. It's raising up, it's leveling up your consciousness, and that's when you have that Death Star moment. You will know it. There is no in between, but you start with the training of the kinesthetic response, and the validation is you knowing it's true to you only. That's the validator. The only important thing, the most important thing is that it's real for you and you only. You have to feel it. This is you can talk to any guru. Just list them. Give me a dozen. They'll all come back to the neurology of the physical body. It's by design. Everything is by design. The perfection that we are bathing in, the manifestation that we are bathing in, the Tao's incredible creation, God's incredible creation, universe, Buddha, Allah, whatever it is that you believe in, this is perfection. You are given this gift. This is the most high-tech piece of equipment on the face of the planet, in the universe, that will ever be created or designed, that we will constantly level up on. People have no idea the limitless, infinite, abundant, timeless, endless truth to this. Think about how it can encapsulate and be the container for a spirit, the anchor to this world, knowing that you are eternal and you are abundant.
And the database to everything that's happened in the future and the past.
And the present.
And the present.
Yeah, and that's all part of the extra accoutrement, the extra add-ons, the extra plate of anchovies, a bowl of olives, a plate of asparagus. Where are you going with this, Sifu? It's an add-on. Mm-hmm. You have this vehicle, so the neurology, do not get twisted when someone says first person, third person, no person, and you ascend to a higher level. The dimensions take you to a place where you feel nothing. That is I'm going to use some words, a lie with a capital F.
No.
You know what I'm
going to say a fib.
Well, yeah, we'll use some other extra letters at the end of that you can elaborate in your imagination. You know what? I've been doing this a long-ass time, being an OG, and I can tell you right now, that is a falsehood. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are on. It's just like, my goodness. All right, let's get to the physical stuff. Let's get to how you doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Because we're all doing the little booty dance here, as we're sort of like working out our fundamentals on this physiology. Jade's doing an amazing job, under the circumstances. You got an infection? Are you bloated? No,
I had a big lunch.
Oh, yes, I think you did. Yeah, a big lunch that's going on for 9 months. Yeah, very good. So, this physical component, brass tacks, guys. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you right now, anything I apply myself to, anything Jade applies herself to, it's 100 all day, every day. And when you are 100, you are whole. What? What did he say? You are whole when you're 100. That means 100 commitment, 100% commitment to whatever it is that you do. You are in the flow. You are doing it. So this physical body thing is a big ass deal. It's your vehicle. It's your simulator. It's the inner workings to the tuning fork that simulates and gives you the experience. Mm-hmm. Hello. And so when you open up your pineal gland and you get deep into those devil dimensions that we talk about, or consciousness, and you access other heightened levels where you're able to be so vivid in your experience, That's a taste. But we can teach you to stimulate that DMT all day, every day, without the external forces. If you feel necessary to do that, there's a reason why. If you're here listening to us, there's a reason why. You have come to a point where the excess, the external drugs, alcohol, pornography are not cutting it, and you are not getting what you want. You need to hear something that is not placating and pacifying you and telling you what you want to hear. You got it. You take this, you take that, you take something else, and blammo, you got the result that is temporary, and you can't replicate it again yourself, yet you know it came from the inside of you. Whoa. Truth is, you got it all. And when you rev up that nervous system and you apply it, and you use these ancient tools that we teach you to cultivate and concentrate your energy and run it through your nervous system, the neurological network of your physical body, you'll have the fun factory that you're looking for. You will stimulate anything and everything that you want on an alchemical level, on a hormonal level, that will level you up in your experience, level you up on what happens to you chemically, chemistry-wise, physically. And so this physical body is very, very important to your human being experience. And that brings me to the critical part of longevity. As a Taoist, we are big believers in making sure this physical body is running like a finely tuned machine. Mm-hmm. Because that is the vehicle that takes you through this experience.
Yeah. It's like I kind of think of it like it's like a car housing the engine. Mm-hmm. And like the engine being, your brain, your consciousness, all that type of stuff, and then the outside of the car. But it's like you don't just drive your car to make sure, hey, I don't want anything to touch the engine. It's like, no, I want to make sure the tires are pumped up. I want to make sure every other part of it works. I want to make sure I don't have bashed in back windows, and I want to make sure, the door isn't falling off and the steering wheel isn't falling off. It's like those are still all components of housing it and keeping it as long as possible, healthy as possible, functioning as possible. And, in with that makes you happy as possible as well.
Right. And so this is how we apply it, guys. It's what you eat, when you eat, how you eat. This is like a hollow flute, and you amplify the energy and the frequency vibration when you refine the machine, and it's working like a finely tuned, basically, you define what it is, but it's finely tuned, and it's calibrated to your experience. And by doing that, some people refer to it as fasting, intermittent fasting, whatever. We call it resting. Mm-hmm. And when you rest, you accumulate incredible results reflectant of very much like a breatharian type of like system, because you're amplifying your sensory perception. Your electromagnetic field is heightened to levels beyond your wildest imagination. You feel it for your neurology. You're using your neurology as a barometer, a standard for you to feel everything, because the feeling is the register, the recognition that it is real to you. And so when you use fasting in of itself, we integrate it on a daily thing, and so we call it resting. In most cases, I'll operate on a meal a day. You need to understand what chemistry you're harnessing, what chemistry you're concentrating, and then we apply yin and yang, hot and cold temperature, to evoke even heightened levels of chemical response, hormonal response in the body that gives you everything that you want. It's another level of leveling up your consciousness. So, heat shock protein has a whole fundamental shock to the liver and what type of enzymes it's releasing and the chemical response that it has in affecting healing within the body. It's the same thing with cold shock protein. Has another similar effect, and they're all elevating and regulating, dopamine and adrenaline and all these other incredible chemicals that are taking place that are regulating your body. And so they're all used at a particular time, place, and it's calculated to get the maximum result. And when you eat, you want to eat something that is very nutrient dense, and less is more, over and over and over again, understanding how the system works when you are in recovery, when you are resting. Your body is supercharged. You are going to feel like you have more energy than you know what to do with. It's complete opposite of the falsehood or the fallacy that is being created within the media or within American, the diet revolution, less calories, more workouts, all this rubbish. It is. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I've been around the physical body for decades. I understand it in great detail. I know how to operate it. I can take you from a zero to a hero like that. And so when you feed the body a certain way, you evoke a certain response from it. And you want to make sure you avoid the biggest issue, the stressor, is the runaway train in the room, the elephant in the room, the emperor with no clothes. Insulin resistance, guys. Right? And, moreover, we're talking about understanding that when you are able to control your hormonal response, what is that guy? I can't even remember the Greek mythology reference to some guy who was a doctor or a medicine man within Greek mythology. Let food be thy medicine. Mm-hmm. You've heard that before. Everyone's heard it before. Understanding how to use it is how you get the prescribed response. You elevate, you level up your energy. You're leveling up your energy by ramping up your neurology within everything that we do on a consciousness level, on a spiritual level. You are upping your game, and that neural network is being supercharged to get what you want. And then you regulate your hormones within your physical body that is still based within neurology. Don't get twisted. All of it is. Everything is instantaneous.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, everything is energy. So it's like the more you draw your energy to deal with, the physical digestions, whatever ailments, physical activities, the less energy that you have to deal with everything else, and the more efficient it works, the more energy you have to use it for, your consciousness, whatever else. Less like that emotional thing. Emotions is that disorder. Less distractions.
Right.
You're more focused.
Right. Because everything is energy, as Jade said. So wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. And so there is no exception to the rule. Now, as you become more masterful, that is the whole understanding the fundamentals of Qigong. Is when you get super refined and your mastery of Qigong starts taking place, and you keep leveling up as you continue through the 126, you can start distributing energy equally anywhere simultaneously. Whoa, what are you talking about, Seafood? That sounds crazy. Yeah, right. That's part of the mastery of Qigong, is that you can have two things going on, or you can have 100 things going on. You're looking at your computer screen. They're all operating, taking the least amount of CPU, because you're taking the energy from the universe. It's on like Donkey Kong, instantaneously getting the result, and you can project it out into the field and have 2 things going, 100 things going, 1,000 things going. Now that's a mastery. like anything. But let me tell you, it's possible, and it's possible for you right here, right now, at your will. If you just proclaim it to be so, it will be. It's that simple. We'll keep reiterating it, because the more and more we reiterate, the more and more you get the result, and understanding that it's that simple. Just like you are right now in the field experiencing the simulation, if you are absent of your identity, you can affect change in the fourth dimension right now. And you will see it morph and change before your very eyes. Booyah. So that resting component, understanding, giving yourself the nourishment, yet not the excess, because the more you refine your body, the more your body, you master the pancreas, you master the liver's response to what you're putting in, and you simulate. You don't simulate, you regulate this consistency. So you want your body to put out less insulin, and you want to regulate your blood sugar, and whatever you think is low is not low enough. And the more and more you master it, the more and more your body goes, hello, I'm listening, just like I'm listening to you. When you master your consciousness by using and developing neurology within your brain, energy information highways, as a synapses, the same thing goes for the organs. The same thing goes for the body's ability to function properly. When you are able to refine your Qigong skills through the Way 126, you can put your attention, intention, your eyes, your imagination to whatever it is. I want this organ to produce this. I want this gland to produce that. And it will take place, my friends. It will happen.
And you have to start with the building blocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It happens instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to reiterate this, because it was something that was really important that Jade wanted to get people to understand, was that physical component, the energetic component, the spiritual component. We go over and over that. But let's just say, when you get into the magic secret sauce of resting, i.e. fasting, I promise you, you will not regret it. I promise you. That will become your new high, because there's a chemistry response in how your body responds when it's put under stress. And it's very popular right now. There's a lot of things everyone's talking about, blah, 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 blah. I get it. We've been applying this within Taoism for thousands of years. But I will say this, the inflection point is when you hit a certain amount of hours when you're fasting, and you got the pancreas down, you got your insulin levels to a zero. Well, thereof, you're not going to get it to zero, and then your body is regulating its blood sugar, and you get into a state of autophagy. That's magic right there, friends. Magic. And it's like, just imagine a Roomba inside your body sucking up all the irregular mitochondria that will sprout off and manifest into something that will definitely ruin your day. But you have the system. You have this gift that is given to you by the Tao, God, universe, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, whatever it is. It's being handed to you, and if you know how to use the mechanisms, you will become superhuman. Mm-hmm. And you will last as long as you want. As a Taoist, it's quite simple. We look at life this way. Accept and allow everything as it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sifu, you're not saying that. Listen. Don't get twisted with my personality and my rose-colored glasses and a few add-ons, a sly dig there, here or there. That is not what creates the secret sauce. I am very clear on that. I can jump into it immediately, absent of identity, absent of judgment. And it's a skill that you will refine. You will refine also. what was that last point we were talking about?
The importance of the physical body, and just as Taoists, it's like
I got
this
it.
is what houses the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just as important as a spirit.
It's the anchor
creating
within this realm.
Yeah, creating the longevity, creating the most effortless, happiest, enjoyable life. As Taoists, we don't, grow up, get old, get sick, and die. It's like, no, we cherish every second, every minute, every hour, every year that we have in this vessel, and optimize it, through resting, through eating, through training, through consciousness. It's all in one. It's all that balance.
Blammo. And so what I was referring to as Taoist, we look at life quite simply. It's it's a pile of diamonds covered in dirt, and every day we remove some more dirt and find another diamond. That is your life. That is your essence. That is your viewpoint. That is your reality, and it's your reality to create any way you want. Perceive it, realize it, live it.
Mm-hmm.
In that order. And that's why the magic of that kinesthetic response to be the validator, to get the result you're looking for. Know this, OGs 126, all the newcomers, everyone that's going to pile in on this app, you're being given the secret sauce and the answers to everything straight up, first day, first second, first minute, you're in the field. Get your sweet little wish list out. Get it out. Get it going. Whatever you want, however you can create it in your imagination will become your reality as you refine your skills and sharpen your tools and implement them as you start to level up. Keep leveling up. And so that physical body, understanding how to utilize it, less is more. You will regulate this. And part of the two spectrums within the 126 is you can hit super sleepy, and then you'll get to super high conscious in relation to the gamma production. So you can be on epsilon level or gamma, but that's the same place of change, my friends. The same place.
The yin and yang.
The yin and yang, which are as one.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best thing that you get out of understanding the spirit body, energy body, physical body, what we're talking about today is understanding that when you use this vehicle and you use fasting or hot and cold temperature evoking physiological responses, chemical reactions, hormonal reactions that are taking place within the body, opening up certain pathways, certain gene expression. We toggle off mTOR and epigenome expression, which is what is the magical solidifier of what we talk about within epigenetics, is understanding that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are not a victim of your DNA strand. You can shift and change your gene expression from here. And that means you can switch on and off genes to get the prescribed response that is necessary within your physical body. We'll get into that. We'll level up on that. But know that the fasting, or what we call resting, is magical stuff, guys. And a lot of that stuff is applied to religious practices. But whatever your belief system is, level it up. Religious faith, idea, believe in yourself, believe in something, you are going to get there. But that's when you get a real harness of the chemistry in your body. You add, if you're doing anything more than 5 to 10 minutes of real nervous system altering exercise 3 days a week, you're in my opinion and my expert opinion of doing this for so many years, overtraining. And you're going to see the physiological effects of that, because there's a homeostasis that takes place while you're on your journey to create this incredible body or chemistry or anaerobic aerobic response, whatever it is that you're looking for. And what happens is it stops. You'll start producing excess amounts of cortisol, adrenaline, your thyroid will start like having a small conniption. Anyway, we can go into the cascade of the hormonal cascades and understanding what turns into what, when, and how you can optimize it. But let's just say this. Fasting is an incredible tool. Add it to your toolbox. Put it in there. We're going to go into deeper understanding of it so you guys can maximize it. It's a sexy, hot topic. Everyone talks about it. Good for you guys. Big brain on Brad. It's happening again. Someone's discovered something that's been around for thousands of years. We're using it again. Booyah. That autophagy is the magic sweet spot when it comes to resting. And so we have the spirit. We have the understanding of that kinesthetic response. The nervous system within this physical body is your barometer, your tuning fork to your experience. If you think that that's not simulating all the things that you take place as you level up your consciousness, as you keep getting up higher and higher, you really are smoking the wrong doobie. Because it will amplify to levels you've never ever imagined, and you do it within yourself. And you can be hanging out with God all day long, universe, source, oneness, Tao, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, whatever it is. It just comes from levels of consciousness. That's a great point. Something's on your mind, I know.
No, I was going to say, and we'll just continue adding to that, giving you more tips, techniques, tools to add to just keep leveling you up on all aspects.
Right. So the takeaways today are quite simple. To access this level of consciousness of change within your three-dimensional reality by dipping into the fourth dimension, collapsing time and space, is a register of the feeling. And that is an indicator of your state. And you can make it real simple at face value. It's quite simple. You're right here, right now. It's on like Donkey Kong. Do it. Have your list. That's how you separate your identity. Have your list in front of you. Feel that kinesthetic response and go to it. Put it out into the field. Project it out there, equal to or greater than. It is met in the universe, and it will happen within the field instantly. Neurology is necessary. That is the simulator of your experience. So when you're using it, you want to maximize it. So what does it do for a practical physical model? Is understanding the physical body. To optimize the neurology in the physical body, you must harness the chemistry that's going on. So you don't want degradation of your neurology. You don't want degradation of your mitochondria. To do that, you must master and harness your hormones, because when they're out of control, they unravel everything else. The ecosystem within the body, when we use 5 elements and they're moving through the organs and all these things are taking place, it starts to spiral off. One is deficient, one is excessive within the emotions, within the physical body. And then if you're putting the wrong food in it and you're being excessive in it, guess what? Your thoughts go, the energy flows, and you go off track. And then you start creating what they call is a metabolic disorder. This is what they're calling it these days in 2023, whatever you want to call it. It's a blood sugar issue. Blood sugar issue, inability for your pancreas to produce insulin efficiently. It's going excess and over. The cell itself is not being able to absorb the sugar and regulate your blood sugar. So guess what? You become insulin resistant and you go down with the ship. And so when you do temperature, hot and cold, yin and yang, you are creating an environment where you're stimulating your ability to use your intention through all the skills that you're acquiring, through everything that we're teaching you in your level of consciousness, to be able to fix your attention on where the energy flows, which then stimulates a response inside this physical body, using the neurology as the information energy highways to send it out into the field. And blammo, you have manifested, you have created, you have by design developed your life and your reality the way you want. Did I miss something? Right.
A breath.
maybe, but it's so important to us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't reiterate it enough how much it's our life's work, our passion. Jade and I, and what we believe in is empowering you, evoking your secret source through what everyone might call the hidden code, whatever you want to define it as. We just use our template to get you what you want, when you want, how you want. Booyah. And so be aware of this, guys. If you want to crash and burn and manifest your reality, however you, that's up to you. We're just suggesting maximize your consciousness, level up, ride this wave as long as possible. And the more you nourish this vehicle, the more you nourish the neurology, the more you nourish the energetics, this will go on and on and on, and your experience, your reincarnation in this realm right here, right now, will be long-lived. And what it does is the longer you're here, the longer you can level up your consciousness for the next one. But let's not wait for the next one. Let's do it now. Let's be here now, be in the present. And that's that fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional shift. It's collapsing of time and space and creating your reality. Blammo.
Yeah. Makes me think of, baby of the 80s. So Sword in the Stone, the Disney movie. And when Merlin takes Arthur, he's like, but I have all these dishes to do. I have to do the dishes. I have to clean. I have to this. And he goes, why are you wasting your time with that? Click, click, click. And they just start, like, the dishes start washing themselves. The brooms start sweeping themselves. And then they go out. And what do? They go out and they get to imagine. They get to play with magic. They get to do all these things. And same thing with, like, the physical body. The more you get it working efficiently, the less you're putting your attention to it. It just does it. Go create. Put that, have your energy and focus be on that versus, oh, I have an ailment. I have a this. I got medication. All these things. Take care of that. Let your mind expand.
Amen, Jade. She's got the secret sauce, the recipe. She just laid it out for you, the blueprints. We do this all day, every day. It's time to level up, guys. It's time for you to be the master keeper, creator of your reality. And we've got it here. This is a big brain on Brad Central. We got it all. Any way, shape, or form, any angle, any concept, any physicist validator, any physiological validator, any peer review study, we will match it or show you something greater than within the spirit world, within your imagination. Level up on your imagination, because that's what will limit you on your experience in this reality when you finally tune the supercharge. I think we did well.
Yeah.
I think today was a big one.
Yep.
And so I want you guys to walk away with that. Spirit body, energy body, physical body, the oneness, how valuable all three of them are collectively. And there is your experience right here, right now. I want to thank my co-host, High Priestess Jade. What an incredible day today.
Yeah, thank you.
What an amazing insight and understanding of this stuff and how we want to deliver it to the world. And we will go deeper, OGs of the 126, and all newcomers, all Jedi Masters, Jedi Knights, anyone that's coming in to the field that is ready to make an effective change instantly. Master Keeper Creator, come one, come all. They're piling in. They're only going to it's going to just keep leveling up. And the point being is, this is for you guys. Right here, right now. There are no coincidences. So with that said, I'm your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn, signing off. And I'll see you on the next one, guys.